Alright guys, this is gonna be a quick update for Stellar RC and anybody else that's followed my videos of the Savage X update. This is my third time making this video. Alright, so I'm gonna try to make it my last. This is just a preparation of the engine to ship it out, right? Like all the nuts and bolts just finger tight, you know, just to send out, or just to send out. Alright, so here's the old piston and sleeve. Now on this piston, that's the intake, right? That's where it's cracked. That's a no-no. So that piston head is kaput. Alright, so here's the sleeve. It's fairly new. If you actually look in there, alright, now this camera's pretty crappy so it won't focus on it, but you actually see the crosshatch where they've drilled out the metal piece inside here. Alright, and yeah, you know. So here's the new piston and sleeve, $65 at Action Hobbies in Brampton. I also had to get the wrist pin and the 4 retainers, the clips, right? So that was $9.99 from Axial. Alright, so let me just put that down. Now I already have a retainer in here, I believe so. Yes, it's in there. So grab your connecting rod, right? Now note, there is oil holes at the top of the connecting rod and at the bottom, right? So what you want to do is locate the intake on the piston, right? You want to put those holes with, like, this way. So top hole lubricates the shaft, yes, the wrist pin, right? And the bottom one lubricates the crankshaft, because if you know how real engines work, they'll have their bearings, right, like the thrust bearing, everything, and line up the holes, right? So this is the thrust, or the wrist pin I'm putting in, right? And just kind of slide it down, and here's the part I do not like. Now these things are a pain in the ass. Alright, I'm going to try to get it on my finger so you can see it. That is the wrist pin. You won't be able to see it because my camera is crap. But it's shaped like a G. Right? Now with that G shape, take your needle nose and grab the loop part. Right? The flat part of the G. Alright? Now when you're putting it in, put your needle nose in the port, right, and turn counterclockwise, right, and push, and then you hear that little snap. I'm not sure if you heard that, but it was there. Alright, and just verify in the light that the pins are in there. Now with this one, it snapped but the end didn't go in, so just grab your screwdriver and push in there, and that's done, right? So get rid of that light. So there's that part of it, right? God damn. There we go. So now that's the intake, right? Note your holes are facing this way. Right? So grab your engine. There is the exhaust, right? That's where the exhaust would be. There's the intake. Intake. Drop your piston in, right? Make sure the intake's facing out. Drop it down. Flip it upside down. Put the anyway's better for you. Whatever works, right? Sometimes I have to bring it up to eye level, but see, kind of like this one, it's kind of met up, not so nicely. Now pop on. There we go, and it's on. Just like so. Alright, now the sleeve. This is your sleeve. That notch goes to the back of the engine. And on my engine, the pin's already in there. It's right there, if you actually can't see it. And what you do is you grab your piston and don't force it. Like if it's going on an angle, don't get up, mallet and just start bashing away on it. Just slide it in and you kind of wiggle it side to side, right? And you'll hear like pop, 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 and it slides right in. Now, for easy access of the sleeve going in, put a little bit of, I don't know, a lubricant, a thin-based lubricant on the sides if you wanted to. Now, that seemed pretty lined up right there. Notch to the pin, right, and done. It's in. That's coming out. That sleeve's coming out. Here's where my pinch starts, right there. That's where my pinch starts, right? On this engine, my old one, that's where the pinch starts, right? So that's it, actually. It's in. It's verified that it's actually in. Now this isn't final. I'm not gonna go out and break it in today. This is just for shipping, prepping, right? So all the bolts are gonna be finger tight. It says you're supposed to put some lubricant on the joints, just so when you actually start it, right? So yes. Now it's just like that, and we're done. Alright, so I knew from day one that this engine wasn't giving max performance. This piston was cracked from day one, because I went from the F4.1 to the K4.6 HO, the high output engine, and that's this. So I thought it was good at the beginning, but now that I've realized my piston's cracked and it's not getting max performance, I can't wait to hear this thing scream. Like seriously, like you've seen a couple of my running videos. It sounds sluggish, right? It's getting more gas than it should. So yeah, I'm just gonna finish up here and I'll come back. Alright, so I'm just finishing up the back plate here. Now technically you would want to put blue Loctite on these screws right here. Alright, you want to put, technically you would, but I'm not, because it's just all finger tight. And with the head, when you're putting the head on, most engines do have brass spacers, shims, that's what I'm looking for. Alright, so on mine's built in. It's actually right on the head, like the actual head, like my button's head is attached to the head. And so what you want to do when you tighten any engine down pretty much is crisscross, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, right? And don't tighten them all down like 1, 2, you just get them all finger tight and then go back, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. Same as this. Oops. Crisscross. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, so that's pretty much it. You don't want to watch me throw on the roto start back plate. Alright, so that's it. And stay tuned for more videos.